Animal Jam has been around for 10 years, almost 11 now in September. So, uh, they definitely had to make money somehow. So, today we're going to be showing all the paid content and stuff like that happened over the years in Animal Jam. So, hope you all enjoy that. Animal Jam finally came out of beta testing in September of 2010, and with that, they introduced the membership feature right from the start. So, all the beta testers, which were basically all the players at the time, they all got a free month of membership for uh, testing or whatever. That was their testing gift, and they put the founder's hat in the store. That's what the founder's hat is. The founder's hat technically wasn't actually the gift because you couldn't have bought it if you didn't want to. So every single person got a month of free membership on there, which means all their favorite items that were like non-member, you're able to use still, and member as well. So then afterwards, starting in 2011, Animal Jam introduced the monthly member gift, a whole sort of monthly thing that members got in their Jamagrams. They got a brand new item. The first one were gloves, like legendary gloves, lava gloves, stuff like that. And then right after were the spikes. And you know how popular spikes are. They were an immediate success. The monthly member gifts are some of the rarest items in the game in Animal Jam PC now. So that's kind of cool to see. And then after that, eventually they started running out of ideas with the monthly member gifts. So they turned to the diamond shop and introduced diamonds. With the introduction of diamonds, Animal Jam gave every member a weekly diamond for it. The program was available all the way to the member spin, so that was all the way to the end of 2016. So anyway, diamonds were given once a week, and the animals were like 10 worth 10 diamonds or whatever. So the animals were actually pretty hard to get. So one way you could have done that is by actually buying diamonds with real money. They had that ability. They still might have it today, although they might have discontinued it because Animal Jam Classic isn't their main priority anymore. But either way, they used to have a way to purchase diamonds. You still get them in your membership, though. There was not much difference in Animal Jam PC. So now we're moving on to Animal Jam Play Wild. So when Play Wild was in its beta testing, specifically after the March 2015 update, they introduced Sapphires, a darker blue counterpart of the diamond that were basically still in testing phase, okay? So some items like the flower crown and some other stuff, they were sold for 2 sapphires rather than all gems. So every account got 50 sapphires to start out. So that means you could only buy 25 of those items. And luckily that all got wiped, unlike Feral. Not gonna talk about Feral, but yeah. Um all this stuff got wiped then. It was still just a temporary feature. There were no new and ultra interesting concepts to this. It was just a way to test out the way Sapphires would actually work. After Playwild finally released, they started adding the premium shop, which is a way to get animals, dens, and specific items for real money, not actually currency. This was similar to what Feral did in about a year ago. They originally put the dragon, dens, and some other stuff in there, but now they switched to star fragments or whatever, similar to Play Wild. Anyway, this was definitely a different approach that they did compared to PC. They never really sold anything on PC for actual money. So they then changed this afterwards, but there are some few things in between. Play Wild, of course, had in-app purchases system. They still have it today, obviously. You could either buy it from Apple, or you could buy Apple or whatever device you use, or you could buy it from Animal Jam themselves. They sell Sapphires still. So that was the main way of getting items afterwards, after they discontinued the in app purchases part of the premium shop. They actually used the same name for where you buy the Sapphires, so they didn't have that available before this. So afterward, they started giving AnimalJam.com members gems, eventually a sapphire, and then 5 sapphires per day. And this is when Animal Jam Play Wild started to become not just non-member, but also becoming member slowly and slowly. In May of 2017, the first weekly member gift started coming out on Play Wild, and it was the Blackout Spike Collar, a very popular item as you know now. Anyway, the Blackout Spike Collar was first of its kind. It was a weekly member gift, similar to the monthly member gifts on Animal Jam PC. The weekly member gift was given to all members uh, if you logged on any day during that week. And the whole idea of it was to increase membership purchasability. Not only do you have special rewards on PC, but you have them now on Play Wild as well. And all these items didn't have a member tag or anything on them, so they were still available for everyone, but they then eventually started becoming more and more member centered on Play Wild. In December of 2017, Play Wild introduced packs and the pack chest. And this is a brand new feature that members had. They could get brand new items every once in a while, depending. Originally, it didn't have a schedule. Now it has a schedule every Friday and Sunday. But anyway, the double wings were the first pack gift that came out, and they are are pretty wanted now. I mean, what makes sense is pretty cool. But either way, the double wings are a brand new era for Play Wild. Packs have introduced many things, including pack runs, stuff like that. And now that it's all free, or at least mostly free to everyone, it used to be all members only. Now, our first edition of Play Wild hiding stuff for non-members was the first edition of member salesman items in February 2018. So with introduction of that feature, these new member salesman items can only be seen by members, and the non-members couldn't see them. And even though they were available for everyone to use because there was no member tag at the time, only members were able to buy these, and that meant that yet another feature was introduced for the hierarchy. Not much anything super gigantic were introduced in the years between 2019 and now, in this spot where Mokuahi was introduced. There were things like pack runs, which were introduced in April 2018, but that was covered partly with the whole pack stuff starting up. So in September of 2019, Mokuahi was introduced, and it is the island in between Los Templos Zayos and Chama Township. This island was a volcano, and I mean, it still is one. It's still there. They brought this instead of Belush, which was their whole lore thing on Animal Jam PC, which definitely confused a lot of people. And with it, they brought a whole bunch of member features, including starting to member tag stuff. Happily, they didn't actually go back and member tag all the old member items, but they all all new items starting then that came from a member gift and eventually a pack gift, and member salesman will get the member tag. So, also, there in the shop, they sold den items and clothing items for members only, which were popular at the time, but now absolutely no one cares about. That same month, only a few days after the whole update came out, the My Shop came into the store and it changed Play Wild forever. In February of the same year, it came out on PC already, and it was definitely a success. It made a lot of new possibilities and stuff like that in regards to worth, stuff, and with the introduction of free membership a few months prior as well, the whole way to get free membership was getting pretty easy with the introduction of the My Shop. So many people were actually starting to get free member items, which means that the membership actually went down in value, and so did the Sapphire. A month later, in October of 2019, they introduced the Pet Station, which allowed you to be able to feed and take care of your pets. So, the month earlier, when they introduced shops, they secretly added the addition of being able to sell potions and pets within the shop and its abilities. So many people were starting to collect pets. So, what a great idea to introduce the Pet Station, a new members only feature that could allow you to level up your pet. And found out this later the same month, Pet Treasures came out for any pet that was level 3. And that was kind of the way to reward you for leveling up your pets, although it wasn't very rewarding at first. Then afterwards, they introduced a new level cap to 5 in November of 2019, and they also introduced pet expeditions, a new type of uh, feature. It was for members, of course, and it allowed you to send your leveled up pet out to a place, and then it will come back with a reward, which would include the brand new DNA vials, which gave you a brand new pet. And many people definitely enjoyed this. It made membership a whole lot more worth it, and it's still used today. I mean, how many people do you see asking for DNA vials? Isn't it crazy how many features were actually made for members only? It's really, really weird. Have you learned anything new today? If you did and you want to share, why not just like comment it or something? And I really give props for the old Animal Jam team in like 2010 for the Jama Journal. I love the 2010 Jama Journals. I just wanted to say this. They're just so fun, okay? And if you like my content, then why not subscribe? And with that, this is Brad Stormer storming out.